Fight of the night, no-brainer, co-main event, Joanna and Zhang.
Dana, main event was a bit odd to say the least. Not, I guess, maybe what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Where do you lay blame on that? What's your take on why that fight played out the way it did?
Well, there's two things. That was a tough act to follow after the co-main event. And then I believe that Israel Adesanya fights to the level of his opponent. The Anderson Silva fight was similar to that. And then you think about the Gastelum fight was a war. You know, Gastelum goes after him and tries to take his head off. Whitaker's going after him, trying to take his head off. That fight was great. And you better believe that Paulo Costa is going to go after him. And that fight should be ridiculous. You know, I expected Yoel Romero. You heard all week, I was literally talking more about the co-main event than I was the main event. I knew that fight was going to be ridiculous. You have these two incredibly talented savages who wanted that belt more than anything. And, you know, I didn't know if there was going to be a knockout or a submission or something like that. Shocked that Romero knew this was his last opportunity at a world championship. I thought he was going to come out like a bat out of hell, put tons of pressure on him, shoot takedowns, go for, you know, try to knock him out. He did literally none of that. So if you're Adesanya, he fought the smart fight. You stay on the outside. He chopped that leg apart, and he picked his punches and did what he did. You know, Romero did a lot of moving around and acting like I'm trying to fight, but he never really did. Really did.
Costa was back here earlier tonight, and he said that he thought the tentative plan was...
Good job, Joey! This guy is so afraid. Get out of there. Get out of there, man. I'm ready.
What don't you like about him in particular? I mean, I know you guys have gone back and forth. What do you not like about Israel Adesanya?
Because I think he's not born to fight. I think he's born to be dancer. Born to be dancer. And you know, and he talk a lot. He's disrespectful, you know. Go ahead. He not respect the people. He talk a lot. He talk about the Twin Towers. So that's why it's personal, because that. And like fire, I can see a lot of spots on his game.
Are you completely healthy
He
right
went
now?
crazy tonight and jumped over the gate and was going crazy. We threw him out. You know, and I just had to calm those guys down in the back. You know, he wants this fight so bad. When he's healthy and a doctor calls me and tells me, not his like friend from Brazil, when a doctor calls me and tells me that he's healthy, we'll make this fight. This is the fight to make. This is the fight that I want to see. And I guarantee you, when that fight happens, you'll hear me going crazy about that one. That fight's going to be ridiculous because Paulo Costa will move forward. He will not stop punching. He's going to throw big shots and try to knock him out, and Israel will fight.
The co-main event, as you said, I mean, one of the greatest fights I think we've ever
Fight. And if you're a guy like, if you're a guy like Adesanya, you know, he's got so much more on the line. This is the way the guy's acting. He's going to stay back and he's going to pick him apart the way that he did. You know, that leg was destroyed. We'll see when he comes walking in tonight when you guys see him. I'm sure he's not going to be, you know, he's not going to have a pep in his step tonight. That leg is hurting. And, you know, Adesanya did what he had to do, in my opinion. Why run in there and go crazy against a guy that dangerous when that guy's not fighting at all?
Last thing I wanted to ask you is, you know,
I think he born to be dancer.
To win that fight. He literally did none of that.
He plans on continue fighting for a long time. He says he still has 10 more years left in him. Is there a path for him to get back to the title, or you feel like this was it?
A path back to the title after that performance? I mean, you're crazy even asking that question right now. He looked terrible tonight. He looked terrible. He literally gave up an opportunity tonight. You know, maybe he comes back in his next fight and looks like Yoel Romero. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't expect him to fight another 10 years looking like that.
Switching gears, we spoke to Daniel Cormier earlier.
We good? Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Dana White earlier said that Yoel Romero's legs would be beaten up bad. Check out his legs.
What you want to see? Tonight, everybody loses. Not only me. Everybody. The fans, the UFC. Only the winner tonight is him. Only him. The fan for UFC, he lost it. They lost the money, he lost the espectáculo. Perdieron el espectáculo, botaron su dinero por no ver el pay-per-view.
He said the whole night was just a waste. They didn't have the spectacular outcome they wanted. They didn't have the show. They didn't have the gladiators they wanted to fight. That's it.
UFC perdió también.
The UFC lost because
tienes que poner un campeón, un campeón digno de darte un buen espectáculo. No va a correr. Que se vaya entonces para tanta puta.
he said that you need a dignified champion. You don't need somebody who's going to run the whole time. You need somebody who's going to represent your brand.
Esto es un deporte de combate, un deporte de contacto.
So this is a contact sport. This is combat.
Donde te van a dar y tú vas a dar.
You're going to get hit and you're going to hit them.
¿Entiendes? Si a él no le gusta que le den, que se vaya de nuevo para no sé. Mira, para avance, a él que le gusta bailar.
He said that he needs to find another sport, either start running professionally or start dancing professionally.
I mean, it's not the fight I wanted to have. I had a different vision for how this fight was going to end. But it takes two to tango. You know, I can't force a guy to fight. I can force him to make mistakes, which I did a little bit by exposing his legs later on. But for me, if a guy stands there for the first 2 minutes and just has his hands up, am I supposed to risk my belt and get clipped by him? Which I did. I realized, okay, that's a bad move. And I went back to what I do best, which is pick people apart. But yeah, that was really bizarre. I mean, I might as well have just used a training dummy at my gym as my sparring partner. You know, but yeah, it was just really bizarre because I was expecting a little bit more. And like I said, crafty. These guys are crafty. These old guys. They'll do things and act like, oh, why you not fight? I'm like, I'm chopping your legs up. I'm jabbing you. Why aren't you bringing the fight? I mean, you guys know me. I'm never in a boring fight. That's not my style. You see me even tonight I overcame adversity. You see me overcome adversity again. I mean, before, and then the Gastelum fight. You've seen when the going gets tough, when someone actually brings the fight, when someone actually comes after you with different looks, different techniques, not just one look. And that's just like a a wooden dummy, a wooden kung fu dummy, just standing there. You know, you see Robert Whittaker, who actually blitzed and attacked. You know, I need people to try and take this shit off me. Keep trying. I mean, he lost his last chance at gold. Even in the 5th round, come on, you attack. I've used the Gastelum fight reference over and over again, but that's because, you know, I really showed out in that 5th round because I knew I wanted that belt. I wanted it more. Show me you want the belt. That belt was up for grabs, and I went to grab it, and I grabbed it. So show me you want the belt. Don't just roll up and then, you know, do the bachata, the merengue, and then, oh, come fight, boy, come fight. Let's just you. I'm like, these are veteran moves. I think one of his tactics is try to bore you. And he's done it with a lot of guys. He'll just stand there and bore you, and then you're just expecting something, and you lose concentration for half a second or a second, and then he catches you. You know, that's probably his only hope for this fight. I think that was his thing. But yeah, I don't know. That was really bizarre, and it's not my kind of fight. But like I said, check my resume. If you haven't seen me fight before, check my resume and see how I really f these dudes up. When you throw a jab, when you attack, you always leave yourself open. Every time I attack, I leave myself open. I take risks. You guys have seen my resume. I don't have to tell you this. I take risks. He didn't. He was 98% defense. He never went below like 85, 86% defense. He was constantly on the defensive and expecting me to attack so he can just open up and then attack me. And like I said, yeah, I don't know. was bizarre. Like I'm still gonna watch the fight again and just marvel at it because it was interesting to be a part of. I was doing my game plan he had. That one shot knockout power that he already landed and didn't do shit with. It was engaging. I don't know. I mean, you guys, you can have your own personal opinions, but yeah, I was the one actually controlling the fight.